Today, what I want to do is I want to show you how to get up on top of your financial house. I want you to get up on top of your financial house and be standing up there. It's going to take you a few years. It's not going to be quick. If you're looking for get rich quick, you're in the wrong room.
What does it mean to get on top of your financial house? And how do you get to this point and stay there? You see, it's one thing to have money, but it's another thing entirely to manage it and stay in control over your personal finances. And here's the thing, it all boils down to your daily habits. Your daily routines over the years can either keep you at the very top of your financial status or bring you down to rock bottom. That's why in this video, we'll be sharing 26 ways to spend less and save more every day. Without further ado, let's get to it. Number 1. Review your bills and receipts. This tip comes first because it's one of the subtle ways we lose money. Imagine you're overcharged for groceries. You'd never notice unless you did the calculations yourself. Sadly, these things happen all the time. Sometimes it's a mistake, other times it's just a subtle move to rip you off from your hard-earned cash. Either way, cross-checking your bills and receipts will prevent any malpractice or cheating.
If you've just started this process, what I always tell people when I'm teaching budgeting is whatever you think you're spending on money, whatever you think you're spending on food, you're wrong. You're spending more.
Number 2. Share meals when necessary. Let's say you go out to a restaurant with your partner, and you know the food you intend to order will be too much for you alone. You can order a plate and share it with your partner, or maybe use an appetizer to compensate for it. Or let's say you made food at home and you can't finish it. You can have a family member or friend share with you rather than waste the leftovers. In both these scenarios, you won't only save money, but you will also prevent food wastage. Number 3. Take a stock inventory before you go shopping. What's the use of buying something you already have in excess at home? Always check your fridge and food store before you go shopping for groceries. This way, you can make a list of what you need and reduce impulsive buying. Dave Ramsey stresses the importance of written lists or budgets.
When you do a written budget, on paper, on purpose, every dollar has an assignment before the month begins.
Number 4. Go to cheaper grocery stores. If you have a smaller shop in your area that has what you need and sells cheaper, why shouldn't you go there? The truth is, no one cares if you bought a can of soda at McDonald's or a gas station. At the end of the day, it's your wallet that suffers. So always take advantage of smaller shops that sell groceries cheaper. If you have an Aldi in your area, try them. They might make your grocery shopping dream come true.
She said, one of my big dreams is to have enough money to just go to the grocery store and fill the buggy with anything I want and not worry about it.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Now that's a fairly low budget dream at the end of the day. But that was like to not have to feel so constrained, worrying about every carton of eggs.
Well, looking at every
stinking price on every generic everything.
Number 5. Do grocery pickup. Picking up groceries or shopping online is one smart way to prevent the temptation of buying things you don't need from grocery stores. We can all relate to such moments when something on the counter grabs our attention, and we just can't let it go. According to Dave Ramsey, falling for temptations like these is one easy way to waste money and ultimately end up broke. He calls it misbehavior.
Well, then don't be praying and asking God to send you financial blessings when you're misbehaving with the little that you do have. When you're faithful with the little things, you'll be given more to manage. Write it out.
Number 6. Create a visual tracker. This is another basic but very effective strategy. Let's say you want to pay off a debt. You can keep a visual record that shows how much you've paid so far and how much you'll pay off each week. You could do this by making it out on paper and pasting it on your wall, or maybe using a physical spreadsheet that you can mark daily. Just ensure that whatever visual method you use, it's located at a strategic point where it stares you in the face several times throughout the day. Here's a method Dave Ramsey uses, the envelope method. Number 7. Shop for Christmas before Christmas. You'd agree that the prices of things always skyrocket during festive periods. So why wait till then? Start gathering your Christmas gifts all year round before December. Simply plan your gifts, buy them early, maybe one gift every month, and keep them safe until Christmas. This is one trick many people use to save tons of money. Number 8. Pack snacks whenever you head out. This tip comes in handy for those of us who get hungry easily, or who have a bad habit of eating out. Try having a small backpack or a compartment in your car where you can keep some of the snacks for when you get hungry on your trip. It's going to save you an expensive bottle of soda or a restaurant meal. Number 9. Take a social media break. Social media is inarguably one of the biggest distractions in our time. Ever wondered why some of the world's most successful people barely have social media accounts? And even the ones that do strictly use it for business. Recent studies have revealed that social media is ruining people. They are made in such a way to keep you addicted and unproductive. If you can stay off media for at least a week, or reduce your social media presence to just 1 hour a day, you'd see great changes in your productivity and, of course, your mind. Here's a tip from Dave Ramsey.
You're going to have to quit spending money you don't have to buy stuff you can't afford when money you don't have to impress people you don't even really like. You have to reset your value system, Instagram breath, watching other people's highlight reel and thinking that should be your life.
Number 10. Look beyond the quick-to-find goods in retail shops. You see, most of the goods on the top counter in grocery stores are the best-selling goods for the store, but not necessarily the best deals for you. Learn to look beyond these goods and take your time to find cheaper or better alternatives. Stores always use this trick, so learn to beat them at their own game.
Now, so the envelopes, all we do with that is we say, okay, for the month, I think we're going to spend $800 and put $800 cash in an envelope and write food on the outside of that envelope. Don't buy anything out of that envelope except food, and don't buy any food except out of that envelope. No cheating.
11. Don't always go for the classic. Many times we see people who would never buy a watch unless it's flashy and looks classic. Well, unsurprisingly, these are the same people that would take out loans or spend their last dime on these kind of things. It's always best to buy classic stuff once in a while, not every time. Having this lifestyle will help you save a ton of money. Even financial experts like Dave Ramsey recommend it. Number 12. Take advantage of bonuses and discount offers. Most people miss out on nice savings because they don't utilize available bonuses or offers from your shop or business. If you're fond of buying groceries, I strongly advise you to join the loyalty programs. Some programs can give you up to $10 off for every $100 purchase. If you're buying something online, then use coupons. It's not so difficult to get these coupons or join these loyalty programs. So why shouldn't you take full advantage of them and save a few extra bucks? Number 13. Turn your hobby into a side hustle. Of course, we all have hobbies, but imagine how awesome it would feel if your hobby is also bringing in some cash. If you love dogs, try walking other people's dogs in the neighborhood for a fee. If you love singing, try sharing your songs on social media or streaming platforms. The list goes on and on. Remember that in this 21st century, anything can be monetized, so don't slack. Number 14. Don't go shopping for fun. One big mistake you can make is to go out to a fancy store with your credit card for window shopping. I bet you would buy stuff you never intended to, only to regret it later. Always plan for grocery shopping or anything of the sort. These companies are very good at advertising, so avoid the temptation altogether. Here's an additional tip from Ramsey.
One other thing you may find in your food budget that you can do is when we started out, we had two separate envelopes, one for restaurants and one for groceries, so that we didn't go to the restaurant and eat the grocery money, because you can do that really easily.
Oh, yeah.
Number 15. Cook enough food for extra meals. If you're one of those folks who cook food that is just the right amount for every meal, you're losing out on potential savings. Cooking a little extra food than necessary makes it so that you have leftovers that you or any of your family members can consume later when hungry, instead of opting for snacks or going through the hassle of cooking another meal. This may seem insignificant, but it really does add up by the time you consider that you'll save extra money on snacks or gas that you would have spent to whip up an extra meal. Number 16. Have a no-spend weekend. The concept here is pretty simple. We all know how we like to blow off some steam on weekends and get ourselves treats. Well, set aside at least one weekend every month where you say to yourself, no spending today. This no spending rule will help you save money that weekend that you can put to good use for something else, or maybe you'll spend on the following weekend. However, if you have a very important need, you can spend money on it. For instance, when your gas runs out, but you need to cook. 17. Invite friends over to your house, not the restaurant. If you love hanging out with friends, I'm sure you'll agree that having a get-together at home is always less expensive. So why bother with restaurants for these sorts of casual meetups? Sometimes these restaurants are even noisy. Plus, you won't be at the liberty to have as much fun as you would at home. 18. For big purchases, save for it. This is very important. If you're going to buy something significantly of high value, save for it. Don't buy it on credit or take a loan out for it. If you do that, you're cheating yourself on a valuable lesson: self-discipline. The richest folks on the planet are those who have disciplined themselves and the way they handle money. Dave Ramsey's story is a prime example of what a self-disciplined man can do. No matter how much you earn, if you don't apply discipline to money matters, you'll end up broke sooner than later.
You have to make this a philosophical process, a theological process, a spiritual and emotional, a relational and a mathematical process. I'm saving money. I'm sick of being broke. I've been doing budgets for 20 years. I do know about. I know it's tough. I know it's hard. So's being broke.
Number 19. Take water instead of soda. This advice is very crucial, not just for your savings, but for your health too. Replacing a bottle of soda with water every time will not only save you a few extra bucks, but will also preserve vital organs in your body like your liver and kidneys. Things that can cost you a ton of treatment money if they get damaged. So it's more like killing two birds with one stone. Number 20. Control electrical appliances in your home. Electricity bills are no joke. We can all agree on that. But what if I told you that reducing the consumption on simple things like your heater or your TV, or maybe some other appliances, can greatly reduce your bill? It's a simple strategy that smart people use to save a few extra bucks every month. Number 21. Abandon your shopping cart. This is one important trick if you're someone who just can't handle the embarrassment of an unexpected bill at the grocery store. Try shopping online. Fill up your cart and click the checkout button to see the total of your goods. From there, you can know if what you've picked out is above your budget. If it is, abandon the cart and make the necessary adjustments. Or just go to a live store and get what you can afford. Number 22. Examine how much you spend on data. If there's one part of our lives that we rarely ever pay attention to, it's how much money we spend on data. Have you ever stopped one day to see if your network provider has more affordable data plans that could meet your needs? The truth is that some of us buy more data than we actually need. For instance, you could be subscribed to an unlimited data plan every month simply because you're a fan of Netflix. Meanwhile, you only spend about 2 to 3 hours every day on Netflix. My advice is to re-examine your data provider's plans and offers and go for the most affordable plan that strictly meets your needs. Number 23. Pay more than the minimum on your debt. Debt is one of the things Dave Ramsey strongly advises against. This is why, if your mortgage payment is $500 a month, pay $600. If your car payment is $200 a month, pay $300. Always add a little extra when you're repaying your debt. It's a safety procedure because you don't know what might happen tomorrow. Also, it helps you to pay off your debt faster. Remember, you're never truly rich until you're debt-free.
Get out of debt. The borrower is slave to the lender. 100% of the mentions of debt in Scripture are negative. There is no good debt in Scripture. When you read about 100% of the messages are, it's a curse, you're a fool.
Number 24. Always carry water with you. Well, this seems basic, but very few smart people actually do it. Dehydration is something we can all relate to, and it can happen anytime, at work, while driving, at the gym, or anywhere at all. Why should you spend $5 for a bottle of water at that moment when you could drink something you brought from home for free? Think about it. There's no shame in carrying your little bottle of refilled water around. You'll be surprised how much you will cut costs on emergency drinking water or soda. Number 25. Watch movies at home. I'm not saying you shouldn't go to the theaters at all. I'm just saying do it less often. Movie tickets aren't cheap, so why not just wait it out until it becomes available on streaming platforms? That way, you can watch for almost free and from the comfort of your home. Think about it. 26. No protein days. This advice will apply more to those of us who are meat lovers and can't help buying some meat every time we go shopping. You all know how much meat costs these days. Well, one way that you can help your pockets and wallets is to do what I like to call No Meat Day. Now, it could be a Monday, a Tuesday, or any day of the week. Pick one day and tell yourself, I won't eat meat today, no matter what. If you have a family, the same rule applies to them. Doing this will save some meat money for the next day. But you see, ultimately, this practice will help you build discipline so you don't get too addicted to meat.